Next, we're going to talk about review of the main sections of the VA report. What we're looking at now is the first page of the value analysis report. The form can be downloaded from the ODOT website. Right now, this is an interim process. ODOT is developing something called the Real OS system. And once developed, the user will develop the VA on the web and paper will not be used. So what we do on the form is we insert the fee owner's name, and then we insert the county route section, the parcel number, and the taking modifier, and the project identification number, known as PID, to the right side of the form. Next, we deal with the subject section. It's where we talk about the larger parcel and the whole property, which should be the same if we're using the VA report. The next section identifies the comparable sales, and we develop a unit value for each comp on this form. The next section is the reconciliation part of the form. In this section, all previous information is evaluated, and the appraiser concludes a unit value for the whole property as a vacant site. Next, we're looking at page 2 of the VA form. The top section estimates compensation for the land component of the part taken. The next section estimates compensation for the improvement component of the part taken. Next section estimates compensation for any nominal costs to cure. Section after that is the preparer's reconciliation and estimate of compensation. And after the preparer fills out the reconciliation, they go down to the bottom part of the form, and in yellow shows where the preparer would sign the form. We've just drawn a dotted red line on the form, and below that line is where the agency inserts the FMVE it has established. Next is where someone of authority within the acquiring agency signs the form, and that signature establishes FMVE, the fair market value estimate, also known as compensation. And then the very bottom of the form is reserved for administrative settlements, where the agency can accept a price higher than that established by the agency, and they would sign in that portion. Next is the required attachments to the value analysis report. And the required attachments include 1, photographs, which need a front scene, a street scene, a take area scene, an aerial photo with boundary lines that outline the whole property, an aerial photo zoomed in looking over the take areas, a label identifying who took the photograph, and a label identifying the date the photograph was taken. Next, we need a sales location map showing location of the subject, showing the location of the comparable sales, and it has to be in detail sufficient enough to allow someone to find the properties using the map. Next is the appraisal scoping checklist, which is finalized and signed by all parties. Fourth is a sketch that shows the whole property, which should also be the larger parcel, shows the takings and any improvements in the takes. It has to be clean and uncluttered, must have a north arrow. And we may need multiple sources to meet the requirements for the sketch. The detail sheets from right-of-way plans alone rarely meet all of those requirements. It's time for a knowledge check.